What is your go-to drink? When you wake up in the morning, do you have a cup of coffee to start your day? Do you drink a soda with your lunch? How about a sweet tea? What if I told you that there's a type of tea that is both delicious and healthy for you? This beverage has many names, such as the magic mushroom, the elixir of life, and yogi beer, but it is most commonly referred to as kombucha. Before I delved into what this health-crazed drink actually was, I was only slightly familiar with it. I had seen it in some grocery stores, gas stations, advertisements, and on tap at some local places. I also knew a few people who had mentioned drinking it, and it is supposed to be good for your body. This led me to the question, what really is kombucha, and does it really possess health benefits? I was interested to answer this question because if something is beneficial to my body's health, maybe I should incorporate it into my life. My search began by exploring the internet for readings and articles about kombucha. To begin, what is kombucha? An article titled Kombucha Health Benefits explained that it is basically a fermented sweet tea. It has a fizzy sweet taste that resembles soda, but has much less sugar and potentially has health benefits. In order to make the kombucha, the brewer must add something called SCOBY. SCOBY stands for a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. Fruits may also be added to the brew to flavor it. Combining these ingredients leads to the production of a fermented, lightly effervescent, sweetened black or green tea. With my new knowledge of what kombucha was, I began asking more questions. Who decided that these ingredients should be mixed together in the first place? I then discovered an article explaining the potential origins and legends of kombucha tea. No historical evidence is proven, but there are a few theories that exist. One theory is that the beverage originated in the Qin dynasty in 221 BC. It is said that the emperor of that dynasty drank it and called it the tea of immortality. Another theory states that samurai carried kombucha in their wineskins. The third theory that I found states that the Mongol leader, Genghis Khan, drank it. It is said that he also instructed his armies to carry the beverage with them. Although there is no substantial evidence, the origin seems to be somewhere in Asia. Eventually the beverage made its way to Russia and Europe. It was a popular drink until World War II. That was when sugar and tea began to be rationed. Ultimately, the drink made its way to the West and has been prevalent since the 90s. So, a magic elixir? Why do people call it that? What's so great about kombucha anyway? It is believed that kombucha can help with weight loss, help detox the liver, prevent cancer, assist joint care, and boost the immune system. It is also said that kombucha could be a potentially toxic alcoholic beverage, according to the Washington Post article, Kombucha, is it really good for you? What's the truth? There's no definitive scientific evidence, but the beverage is certainly rich in probiotics, just like in your yogurt. This is why the beverage is famed to detox and assist digestion. These probiotics have also been shown to boost immortality. The negative aspect of kombucha is that if it is not brewed in the most sanitary of conditions, or if it is made incorrectly, it can be toxic. It is imperative to be sure that homemade kombucha is properly made before ingesting it. Strains of molds or bacteria could form that could lead to serious illness. It's safer to buy commercially, but I was still interested in how to make sanitary homemade kombucha. This led me to watch a video about how to make the drink. To summarize, you begin making the beverage by sanitizing all items used. They can be washed with soap and water and sprayed with antibacterial spray. The first part is pretty easy. You brew some tea. Most brewers make large amounts, so they boil a large pot of water and then allow their choice of tea to steep in the water. The water is usually either filtered or purchased, as chlorine and other things in tap water can affect the kombucha. After the tea steeps, about 2 cups of sugar are added to it. This measurement doesn't have to be exact as it's pretty much food for the SCOBY that will be added later. The brewer then dilutes the tea with some water to cool it off, as the tea needs to be less than 100 degrees before continuing. You then pour the tea from the pot into the brewing vessel of your choice. Lastly, the SCOBY is added, and then the vessel is covered in a way that oxygen can still enter the vessel. The brew time can last anywhere between 9 and 14 days. The more time it brews, the more tart it becomes. If it brews too long, it becomes a sort of vinegar. The brewer allows it to brew a certain amount of time based on taste preference. After this extensive research, I asked my mother, an avid drinker of kombucha, about her experiences with the beverage. She has been drinking it for 9 months with no problems. She enjoys that it is a probiotic, and she has noticed improvements with her digestion since she began drinking kombucha. Melissa has not brewed her own kombucha, knowing the dangers of performing the task incorrectly. Though she does not home make it, she recommends buying a local brand of brew rather than a mass market brand because the benefit is not the same. For the I Do portion of my iSearch, I decided to drink kombucha myself. I began drinking it about once a week starting in September. Since then, I have totally fallen for the hippie health craze, and I drink it multiple days a week. I found that finding the right brand is so important. I started by looking at H-E-B, where I tried the brands Live Soda and Buddha's Brew. I found that Live Soda's Brew was a weaker form of kombucha, though still tasty. Buddha's Brew became my mass-produced favorite due to all of the delicious flavors. I then went to Whole Foods Market in Austin, where I found an entire wall of multiple brands of kombucha. I have found my all-time favorite brand to be Kickin' Kombucha. It is locally sourced and brewed in Houston. In my experience, I have found that I cannot attest to all of the claims of the magic health elixir, but I have noticed an improvement in my digestion. Also, after drinking a serving, I feel more energized. Altogether, I learned a lot through my research. I answered all of my questions, and I was able to experience kombucha head-on. I'm still interested to know if some of the health claims about kombucha are true, and hopefully they will be proven in time. Until then, I will continue to drink kombucha, and I am now more open to trying other health trends as they could be a positive influence for my body and me.